Technology, specifically social media, has messed with our thoughts consciously and unconsciously. There's many different ways that technology is meant to be highly appealing, which then creates addictive behavior, like expecting a certain amount of likes, comments, or constantly changing your feed in order to be more aesthetically appealing, just like the introduction demonstrates the social media scroll. By being on social media is consciously performing the scroll of looking at others' posts, whether they're appealing or not. Our mind automatically starts forming thoughts about these posts because we follow them and we want to connect with these posts in some way, so we start questioning, commenting, or even comparing. The social media scroll is a continuous practice we also do unconsciously because we are so familiar with the interface, we know how to gain something from the scroll. Soon, it becomes a routine of constant comparing and anxiety on how social media tools can trigger these lower level or negative internal feelings and self-talk. But this is just one way. Let's dig a bit more. First, these platforms gives us access to post our photos, videos on our story, which then could be saved onto our highlights. Instagram and Facebook allows us to just post the highlights in our lives and share it with others. We only capture our happy, fun, and accomplished moments because what we want is acknowledgement. To have others notice and demonstrate we have their attention by what we post must mean we have some kind of influence in their life. You can re-watch these stories over and over again. You can swipe up and give reactions by sending emojis. We don't ever post our upset and difficult moments because it gets translated to, wow, that person is just asking for attention. We can't be vulnerable or too open about our problems because that's not what social media is built for. It's to demonstrate how each of us live our best lives. It's made for us to post these exciting, fulfilling, and breathtaking moments in order to feel better about ourselves because our own unique posts will make our followers think how they could live life like you do or have a similar experience you have been through. And we go through the same exact mind process when viewing others' posts. It's all a part of this mental routine that's built through this conscious and unconscious addictive behavior when using these platforms. Another interface tool that actually contributes a lot to our mental routine is all the likes and all the comments under our images, tweets, and stories. Among scrolling through social media and viewing content, we also comment and like on what we see because we have the need to connect. The action of doing this is to let the other know that we have acknowledged their fun or selfie. When we receive comments and likes, there's a constant want of receiving a notification because once we get a certain amount of likes, views, or comments, we probably would love to have more because it shows on your feed how validating your post is to people. This is social currency. We keep track of how much likes or comments we get because we're able to create a meaning out of this currency. Sometimes we depend on this currency in order to understand how noticeable we are to our followers. It's about the feeling we gain from this. We want attention. We want the reassurance to feel confident. We want to relate because then our posts are accepted and validated by everyone else. The social currency becomes addictive. We will always expect at least one like or comment because that's a part of the reason why we post. This physical routine of picking out an image or video, curating it, and then posting it just all leads to obtaining this currency that feeds our mental wants. Now, what does this all mean? Why are we so addicted to these routines or the features that come with these platforms? Why do we constantly stay on social media? Well, it's because we have the fear of missing out. We're attached to the idea of knowing what's going on with everyone's life, but also letting others know what we're doing too. We see connection through these social media platforms, and we gain constant fulfilling tokens by all the features we see and use. Social media releases dopamine, and to get rid of social media, it would mean a lack of this pleasure that we receive from the platform and our followers. It's almost a sense of emptiness, and it's hard to disconnect once we fully interact with our followers and the application. This fear of missing out shows us how addictive and attached we are to technology, and that should not be the case. It's not a necessity. It doesn't make us who we are. It's a platform where we communicate how our personality is or could be, but don't know because of how technology has made it flexible and accessible to being anybody who you want to be. It's better to change your thoughts from comparing and constantly putting yourself in lower levels of feelings or thoughts when it is not necessary. We don't need to gain acceptance or validation on these platforms. We don't need to depend on this routine or fall into our overthinking thoughts that arise from the constant stories, highlights, and overall post. It's a media platform, not your life.